Hi, everyone. I again want to take a few minutes to share an update of what's been transpiring. I realize the state of my hair, and it'll probably bring a few smiles to people. I'm not in a position right now where I can go, straighten it out before recording this video. And I honestly think it's more important to put out a video today instead of putting the effort into straightening my hair. So I have a combination of some good news and some challenges to share. At this moment, I have 12 of the 20 calendars online and the work done that makes all those steps work. I figure there's about 16 hours more to get the remaining 8 calendars onto my website and all the small changes that need to happen for this. I'm a bit hesitant to share a date when I will get this done for. There's a whole lot of uncertainty that comes with surgery and the issues that I'm having with my knees. But what I want you to hear is that I'm working at it, and I've been looking at the access logs already, specifically what search engines have already been picking up, and it's really been encouraging to see that some more growth is taking place over this effort. So I will get back to this if I can pull it off by the end of February. But again, I'm really hesitant about committing to a firm date. I need to recover from the operation that I've had and sort of take care of my whole self. There's been times where it's been much more important to either spend times with friends or playing silly computer games just to be able to bear the pain that comes with having surgery. I wanted to first touch on my right lower eyelid. I'm presently being assessed for eyelid surgery. Of all the things to happen to me, this eyelid's not too bad right now, but this eyelid's been rolling forward, and it makes it prone to infection in this corner here. What causes it is I've got some eczema on my face. You can probably see around my nose is a bit red, and there's a spot in behind my ear, and it's not too bad on my forehead right now. For years I've just accepted that I've got some eczema, and so be it. And if someone gets to know me, they realize that I am not too concerned about my appearance, where it doesn't paralyze me. But the challenge with the eczema is the skin tightens up. And so the working theory, I could probably even induce it right here, is if I go like this and kind of pull the skin tightens up with the eczema, and you can see how the eyelid moves forward when I pinch it right now. And that's the similar effect of what the eczema does. We're trying to get it resolved. The first medicine hasn't gone well. It actually added momentum to a medication for my soft tissue pain and very badly sedated me to where I had to stop. I had to stop. When I start to miss meals and I'm not engaging with friends or playing silly computer games, I need to look at my life as a whole, and it wasn't worth it. The eye doctor was very receptive of this, and instead of treating the eczema on my face, she asked me if I'd focus on the eyelid and, over here on my nose and just in this area. And using significantly less, so it was just just like a smearing, like getting the face damp, like morning dew on grass. And I thought it was very reasonable, but this too hasn't worked out. It wasn't sedating me like before, but it was creating the flu-like symptoms, and I'm trying to heal from surgery. I'm not wanting to be uncooperative to the eye doctor, but I need to let my body heal. So we're going to try a different medicine. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I have no hidden agendas. I would like this doctor's help, and there are other medications available. So it's trial and error, and see where this goes. So about the surgery that I had in November. Good news. The artificial hip isn't falling out of the socket. And to be honest with you, the style of artificial hip that I now have makes it physically impossible to fall out of the socket unless something catastrophic happens, like my pelvis shatters or the femur shatters. There's a third component to the artificial hip that I now have. So let me grab my mug here. So if you pretend for a moment this is the artificial socket, and then there's the artificial ball that kind of goes in it, there's actually a third component that occupies this space right here. And what it means is it's just physically impossible for the ball to fall out of the socket. It's very robust artificial hip, and I need to be fair to myself in saying that I'm not near done the healing, and the healing process is going to linger on for most of this year. But the problem with the ball coming out of the socket and feeling like I'm being pinched or sucker punched has been resolved. So the surgery has helped me. I do have the same fluid problem around the incision on both sides right now. The right side's starting to calm down. The left side's a persistent little cuss. It's got its own personality. And there's this fine balance in how much I push for help and the risks of getting that help compared to just letting things play out. It's a real balancing act. I'm trying to get help with the left side. It has lingered on, and when it's bad, it causes me to feel a lot of nausea and motion sickness. So that makes sense to me over the risk of getting help. I don't want to do anything that buggers up the artificial hip, but it's a process also, and that's sort of what makes sense to me right now, is pushing for help with the left side, but being methodical about it. The bigger problem that's come with the surgery, though, are both of my knee joints. They started popping, followed by immense pain. So, when we're all joined together on the inside, and when my artificial hip was replaced, sort of the angle of the knee is just slightly changed, and it's dreadfully painful. The first step of this was a nerve block treatment. I'm not a candidate for that treatment, so I'm trying to get back into my surgeon to further discuss replacing my right knee. In the meanwhile, my left knee's also not doing okay, so it's going to be a multi-year process. I'm okay with that. I certainly wouldn't want to rush it. But I'm not emotionally attached to my knee. I'd be just as happy with an artificial knee at this point, or both of them being artificial. And I have already clearly communicated that with the surgeon's office and provided several examples. So where I'm at specifically right now is that the nausea and the motion sickness has become quite troubling. Yesterday evening, one of my friends came on and we played a game called Web Fishing. Just a very quiet game. There wasn't a lot of flashing on the computer screen, and there wasn't the brightness on the computer screen, so it didn't make things worse for me. And I asked my friend what type of music she listens to, and we put some on, and that also helped with the pain that I was in at the time. I should be clear, this isn't a romantic interest. This is someone that I formed a friendship with online, and periodically is able to come on, and get to know some people. So because the nausea's got to be problematic, I'm going to go to the emergency department once the city where I live has cleaned up the city sidewalks with the snow, so I'm able to get to the hospital with my power wheelchair and not get stuck. I need to talk to a doctor about it. Inevitably, the doctor will ask the surgeon to see me on a priority basis, but I don't think I can wait now to see my surgeon first. I should add, I expect anyone who watches these videos with a chronic condition might understand this. Sort of once it's dealt with, you kind of have to let it go or decide how you're going to tackle the problem and then let it go until you're in the scenario where you're going to tackle the problem. Otherwise, it just eats at me, and there's no point in that. It's not helpful. It's part of why I keep a blog. I can usually let things go, and if it needs talking about in the future, well, my blog will remember what was important at the time. I have a few other things that are on my mind that don't relate to any of this at all. This summer, I'm wanting to get a new picnic table. I bought one a few months after I bought this house, and the wood's rotted. It needs replacing. So I'm wanting to get a picnic table here, and I want to be able to have some of my meals outside this summer. I haven't posted videos of me flying a drone recently. I still have my license. I've still been keeping up the ongoing training that's required to have it. I don't want to hurt somebody. I don't want to fly a drone into someone and take out an eye or cause someone to start bleeding if pain intervenes and interferes with my focus. So I've been erring on the side of caution and just doing the ongoing training required. I will see where I'm at this summer. I'd like to go flying, but we'll see. I was talking to, this is separate, I was talking to one of the drivers that takes me to my medical appointments, and I was honest with her. I haven't had a vacation since 2012. To be fair, the saying a change is as good as a vacation has been true in that I've enjoyed going to Kingston for medical treatment and spending the night in a hotel when it's been necessary. And those 2 days I was in the hotel in November before my surgery were enjoyable. It was just nice. It was a nice change. The driver's encouraging me to have a vacation this year. I'm considering a few things. There's kind of 3 things that are on my mind. One of them is that there's a cruise outside of Kingston, Ontario. It's the Thousand Islands Cruise. You might know about the Thousand Islands if you've been or live near Syracuse, New York. There's a bunch of little islands between Canada and the U.S. in that region. So there's a few-hour cruise. One of them has a meal with it. I've reached out to the cruise line to inquire the logistical needs of me being on the boat. with the wheelchair. If I did it, I'd need to be there for the meal because my energy would get used up and I would need to eat supper. And so I've asked about coming for an evening meal that takes place on the cruise ship. I haven't heard back yet. To be fair, they're closed down for the winter months. Their cruises start in another 3 months, so I'm sure I'll hear back in due course. Another thing that's really, really interesting me is taking the Via Rail train from Toronto and going out to Vancouver, British Columbia. And I've discovered that Via Rail Canada has a web page that shows discounted tickets for the Canadian train, or I think it's called the Canadian. I think the Ocean, or the train that's referred to as the Ocean, is the one that goes east to Nova Scotia. It appeals to me. I love riding the train. It's just fun. And the train's away from the cities and it's really scenic. So I'm considering taking the train. If I don't do it this year, I might do it next year. The other thing that's kind of got my interest right now is there's something called sailability, where you're lifted up with your wheelchair and put on a sailboat, and it's kind of a weekly activity. I would love to go out sailing this summer. So I'm going to reach out to them and see if they would take me out once, see how I feel the next day, give another day or two to reflect on how it went and if it'd be a good match for me. There's a lot of times where I'm willing to try something and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but more times than not, the pros have outweighed the cons to just try. So it's on my mind. The sailability is subsidized by various businesses in the area. Last time I checked, it was about $100 for the summer, and certainly I could justify $100 out of it and go on the water and have my camera out there, and I would really enjoy it. I need to see how I'm doing, and I need my body to be further into the healing from the operation I've had, but it appeals to me. It has for a few years now. Sort of making its way to when I want to do it, but want to be wise about doing it. I'm not sure if there's anything else that I really have to share right now that's going on in my life. Actually, there's one more thing. If you didn't know, my hamster died in early January. I'm starting to think about getting another hamster. I'm not quite ready yet, but I'm wanting to have another hamster here with me and be able to pet the little guy and give him food. I really enjoy that. I equally enjoy sharing little clips of him online. Anyway, it's on my mind that I'm going to get a hamster again fairly soon. I'm kind of ready. I hope each of you are doing well. If you're in Canada, I know we've had quite the winter. Oh well, what are you going to do? Anyway, hope each of you are doing well. Take care. Bye for now.